Just let it be. Because this is ridiculous.
Oh shoot, I ain't mean to do that.
I feel like we just be stuck at somebody else every time this happens.
Pretty much. No worries.
I don't remember how to do it. Oh yeah.
I know how to change it. I just not going to.
Right. I know how to change it too. I just don't. It defeats the purpose because it just stays the same.
Is
I
it
always change it.
broadcasting on Ken's
Uh,
page?
I
I
don't see it on
I don't
Ken's.
see it on there.
say I did connect it, huh? Then go take a poo.
Oh wow.
Then go get it. Stuff like that, baby.
Are you gonna chop up that?
I added it.
I got it.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's in there.
You gonna still chop up that salmon?
Yeah, I'll do it later. Why are you worried about what I'm doing? I need y'all to go to my room and have.
She said, I got a food.
I'm like, oh no. Like,
Can you go
oh
together,
no.
please? Because this is the main person that I need to be away. Because she's gonna be there. So can you take her and go to the room, please?
That's funny. All nonchalantly.
He said, "Do you gotta announce it?"
Right.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
These darn childrens.
Mm-hmm.
Whose kids are these?
Right.
They're Kenneth Copeland seniors right now.
Mm-hmm. Damn it, KJ.
Right.
Well,
Oh my god.
Let's start the show.
All right.
All right.
D-Mark got that heat.
What you saying now? I'm the man now. I be flying in the bird when I land down. Bands on bands now, I got hella fans now. Chopper hit 'em, we call that a man down. I keep them racks on me, but I don't rap for free. They say that I'm Hollywood, it don't bother me. Bitch, please don't follow me, I don't do no following. Only taking phone calls when that money calling me. Choppers as tall as me, ballin' I gotta be. Niggas acting like bitches always got the tick. White on me, yo gotta expire me. I was just a youngin' tryna get it, yeah we gotta eat. First it be fiery, make these niggas get tired of me. You a worker, I'm a boss, nigga, you can't fire me. Keep green like celery, dodging all of these felonies. Killing them with my melodies, going hard like on every beat. Shot it, thought it forever be. Fans, they keep on telling me that I'm the hardest in the street. Wait till I hit the industry. At first they wasn't feeling me, now these bitches they feeling me. I'm on top where the ceiling be. They done made my night hearing me, but what you saying now? I'm the man now. I be flying in the bird when I land down. Bands on bands now, I got hella fans now. Chopper hit 'em, we call that a man down. I keep them racks on me, but I don't rap for free. They say that I'm Hollywood, it don't bother me. Bitch, please don't follow me, I don't do no following. Only taking phone calls when that money calling me.
What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good night, and good tomorrow morning to everybody out there. Look, I know we a few people down tonight, but it's all right. We gonna get it right for you. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight, for another episode of the Gun Line. We appreciate those who tune in to listen to us talk about various things in the Second Amendment community, various things in the Black community, as we offer our opinions, whether or not you care about our opinions or not. I still appreciate y'all joining in. tuning in and having a good time with us. Well, you know, Keem and Ken, they're not with us tonight. They got some work to do. But it's all good. We still gonna hold it down tonight, man, because we still got a bunch of announcements and a lot to talk about. Um, but of course, man, my name is Sean, man. Everybody calls me Banks. I'm here with the two ladies of VTSA right now. And I'm sure they're gonna offer a very fresh perspective um, of on some of the topics tonight. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got the intros. We got look like we got hold on, I ain't even where her name at. It ain't did it pop up? Nope.
Nope. Bert.
Where the names at? Oh. Who said Mrs. Mossberg? Well, she had it up there. She told that Mossberg MC2SC, phenomenal gun, by the way, for those who haven't had a chance to shoot any Mossberg handguns. I know a lot of the times we get the same comments like, I didn't know, bruh. Relax.
Why are you trolling right now?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know Mossberg make handguns, but yes, they make some phenomenal handguns. But anyway, Aisha, what's going on?
Nothing. Just holding it down by myself today. Husband's not here. Kind of sad. It's all good.
I'm weak.
Somebody said, "Who's
It's
Kenneth?"
That's the Kenneth J. The
Kenneth J.
The part 2 of Miss Mossberg.
Wait, what?
I'm weak. That's a troll.
Yeah, that's trolling if I ever seen it.
Right. What?
Man, moving on, man. We got Mrs. Banks in the house tonight, looking all good and stuff.
Okay. It's like, I am the Mrs. Banks, and I just say I'm AKA your new favorite black female instructor.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
No Terminator Barbie.
And we're gonna leave it right there. Hashtag Terminator Barbie in the chat in my Sean voice.
Hashtag Terminator Barbie in the chat.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, man, listen, man, we just had Fredericksburg this past weekend. It was a dead show. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, of course, we appreciate everybody that came out to support, but it was a dead show,
Indeed it was.
Of course, coming back from Chantilly the week before, of course, that leads, Fredericksburg to everybody spent their money in Chantilly, but it's all good. It's still good to see people to come out and talk to everybody and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I tell you, it was a drag though. I was like, man, is it time to go home yet?
Right. Seriously.
Oh man. Oh, what's the conversation topic?
Well,
Lord, you must be new here. We gonna get there.
Well, we thank you for joining us anyway.
David Harris, what's going on, champ? What's the word, man?
Oh, here you go.
We got something for you, David, for them $300 Glocks.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh yeah, we got one for you coming up. But yeah, man. So that was Fredericksburg, but we back at the shop now. We got a few things coming up here soon, some classes and things like that, and blah blah blah. But we'll talk about that here later. But as of right now, man, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into the sponsors. As if you've been following us, the past what is this, episode 6, 7, something like that. We just got our first sponsor last week of the channel, of the show, and so we super excited about that. Right now, the biggest sponsor of the podcast is U.S. Law Shield, man. We appreciate those guys over there for everything that they've been doing, man. That's huge for us. I'm super excited about working with them. We've been working with them for about 2 years now.
Mhm.
Um, and we actually use U.S. Law Shield, as our carry defense, insurance and whatnot. So for those who out there who don't know about U.S. Law Shield, man, check them out, man. Is legal defense for self defense. Where their motto is, if you cap them, we'll back you, and they're pretty good with that. If you got any questions about concealed carry laws, in different states and things like that, you can always um, give them a call. They'll answer any questions you have. And Lord forbid, if you ever get in any situation where you got to defend yourself or a loved one, it's a lot of repercussions that come with that, a lot of the times. And you're going to find yourself in court trying to prove and argue your case, and they provide the lawyers to help you do so, so that's big, no out of pocket expenses when it comes to lawyers. Um, and if you sign up, and you choose to become a member, use code VTSA. All right. And with that, you get 2 months free. All right. You get 2 months free. That's if you're doing the yearly. We just found that out. Like if you sign up for the yearly, you get 2 months off, right? And if you do the monthly, you still locked in at $10.95. You know what I'm saying? No matter if they go up on prices or inflation or blah blah blah, you locked in at $10.95. You know what I'm saying? So, whenever you got some time, check them out, man. We like them a lot. And William, he's a good guy over there, man. He always comes to our classes explaining what the fuck? What, am I tripping? What?
This is the wrong podcast for that.
Bruh.
I'm just mad how you just caught that. But anywho,
No, look, I've been talking about U.S. Law Shield. I mean, I don't know what's going on. What's happening right now? But yeah, man. So check those guys out over there. All right, man. Let's get right into it, man. Let's see, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into what's trending right now. Trending topics. Be what you got on that front.
So just to follow with U.S. Law Shield, this is something I found that's pretty close and when you may need U.S. Law Shield.
Breon, what's up, bro?
So there is a sheriff who's a little bit in the hot seat in Florida. I found this topic where analyzing a Florida sheriff's call to shoot intruders. So a Florida sheriff who recently voiced his support for homeowners shooting and killing home intruders to save the county some money might not be giving the best advice for all situations. A Florida sheriff who recently voiced his support for homeowners shooting and killing home intruders to save the county some money might not be giving the best advice in these all such situations. Speaking to the media after a home defense episode in which an armed homeowner fired several shots at an intruder who turned out to be a many-time repeat offender, Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson insinuated that with proper training, the homeowner might have not missed and saved his officers some trouble. In fact, as Fox News reported, Johnson said residents in his county are more than welcome to shoot anyone who is breaking into their house. I guess they think they did something wrong, which they did not, Johnson said of the homeowner who had yet to be identified. If someone is breaking into your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County. We prefer that you do actually. So, whoever that was, you're not in trouble. Come see us. We have a gun safety class we put on every Saturday. He added that those who take this department's course will shoot a lot better and possibly save the taxpayers money. Johnson later told Fox and Friends, I'm a cop, not a politician. If somebody breaks into your house in Santa Rosa County and you shoot and kill them, the chances of them reoffending after that are zero. and we like those odds. While many Floridians love Johnson's statements, after all, a man or woman's home is his or her castle. It is important to remember that armed self defense in the home is a very complex situation, regardless of where you live. While in Florida, but has both the castle doctrine and stand your ground law, some attorneys warn that you draw your gun and start shooting anytime someone enters your home uninvited might not always be the best tactic. Johnson's statement is wildly irresponsible because it essentially encourages people to use deadly force without giving it more consideration. Judge Facademo, president of the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, told the news WWC.com, there's often times that somebody is not an imminent threat to you. In fact, many self-defense attorneys are quick to warn that when police arrive at shootings, they generally consider anyone there with a gun to be a suspect in a crime, which what seems like to be a cut and dried self-defense situation can turn to a long nightmare in courts. Of course, I'm not saying that defending your home with a firearm is a bad thing, far from it. In recent Florida situation, the homeowner likely got it right in firing at the intruder, but taking a shoot 'em all and let God sort them out attitude companioned by the as companioned by the sheriff is likely far more likely to land you in trouble than keep you out of danger. In the end, if you shoot someone in your home, even in self-defense, you may be arrested, handcuffed, and taken to jail until everything is sorted out, which may take a long, long time. While there's no reason not to defend yourself and your family if necessary, it is reason enough to learn the laws in your jurisdiction and weigh all factors possible before ever using your firearms in a self-defense situation. So basically, this sheriff in Florida in Santa Rosa County stated to this or talked about this issue that happened or this what had occurred and said you were better off killing them because you will be fine. So I chose this particular story because we talk about all the time how you can't really shoot in, well, just speak for Virginia behalf, you can't shoot anybody unless you're actually in imminent danger. And this sheriff is talking recklessly like he is a law and he's above courts and above the judge and above the jury. Be mindful of where that bullet is going and what you are intended to use that bullet for.
Well, first of all, this is fucking Florida we talking about, right? We already know how Florida do it. You know what I'm saying? And for him,
like he just created a deterrent. Like he just made it clear that don't walk up in nobody's house. I just said it was okay.
I found it kind of funny in some way because I'm like, for you to come out and say, hey, like, if anybody intruding your house, go ahead and shoot them. I mean, just shoot them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just feel like, I mean, yeah, it's a bit reckless. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, Aisha, I really do think, I mean, it would serve as some type of deterrent, for those in that immediate vicinity. But at the same time, it's like, dang, bro, like it's open season. And
I mean, but like most court cases start with the police. So, like, if you are the sheriff talking about just go ahead and take them out, like,
right,
you're not going to arrest them. So, what's going to happen from there? Like, what is the DA or anybody else going to do, at least in that county, that's going to get you arrested? Like, what's going to happen?
He said there's zero chance they'll do it again. So, basically, they're going to be dead. So, shoot them dead.
That's what I'm saying. There's no witness there to help you out. They're dead. So if they're dead and then the sheriff is saying I'm cool with it, what trouble you gonna get in?
Right. I mean
he said specific to his county. So I mean, what trouble are you gonna get in?
You see, I mean, Brianna, I don't think that the DA is gonna be in agreement with this for the simple fact that the DA's job is to put your ass in jail anyway. Right, but my thing is, I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope. I mean, you go out, you say things like this, and I mean, obviously, well, I'm not gonna say obvious. He may have been joking, or he might just been saying it
he was
as or he was might have been saying it as matter of factly or something like that, But at the same time, it's like I mean I get it. You want your people in your town or your city or your county or whatever to protect themselves and things like that. But
self at all times.
It's going to I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that one play out. I mean,
right. So we probably gonna hear a story here later in that same county where somebody got killed inside somebody. Somebody got shot, killed.
And that's all you gonna hear.
Happen. Right, exactly. That's all you're gonna hear. So, and then it kind of like this. Why I said it brought up the situation. How we're sponsored by U.S. Law Shield, and they are self-defense lawyers or self-defense concealed carry insurance for situations like this. Like if you decide that you're gonna shoot and kill someone that's an intruder, and like you said, all parties that was involved with that said gun, they are likely to get taken downtown, regardless if you are the victim or whatever the case may be. Because at that point, sometimes that intruder can become the victim. Because there are cases where the intruder was able to sue the person that shot them coming in the house.
So let's talk about Florida though, right? Florida is one of the states who does have a very open and lenient statutes and laws with the castle doctrine, and stand your ground and things like that. So you also got to remember that they are very open, as we've seen in the past, with Trayvon Martin and things like that, even though that had nothing to do with stand your ground. But even other cases, they're very open, to or lenient when it comes to things or matters of the castle doctrine, So, if you do start seeing more deaths, related to guns and home invasions there in the Florida,
we know who said it.
Right. I mean, but at the same time,
point fingers at.
I don't know if those people would necessarily, be looked at. So like here in the state of Virginia, that's a problem, right? Depending on, like, the DA will take all of that stuff into consideration. Like, what was the person doing when they came in your house? Did they take some? Where were they facing? Things like that. There is no stand your ground here in the state of Virginia. So things and interpretations of laws are looked at, I ain't gonna say completely different, but differently than if we were in Florida. You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are things to keep in mind. But yeah, I feel like he was a bit reckless for saying that, though. And he might have a few deaths on his hands. Not to say that all of them won't be warranted, right? Because some people might hear that and take that shit as like an invitation. I'm like, let me try.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Think
I
about
don't know.
Think about like overkill, and there's a lot of gray area left behind that. Like a person, they're in my house, I get to shoot and kill them. Like, and one person may not go there with one bullet. So,
Yeah, it's something to think about. But hey, I mean, it is what it is, man.
I expect nothing less from Florida.
I'm about to say Florida's different, man.
They wide open.
Everybody down there different, man. And if you from Florida, I'm sorry, but you probably different too.
Right. The next story I have is like a little bit locally. A young lady who stays in Tanglewood Apartments in Petersburg found a bullet gone through her ceiling onto her floor, and she is seeking to move out of those apartments. She doesn't know where the bullet came from. She said she didn't hear any gunfire. She just woke up to seeing a bullet through her ceiling down into her carpet. She said luckily her and her 2-year-old were in the bed, so I'm assuming they were sleeping. I think they were sleeping, and must have happened overnight. And there was nothing. They didn't say they did an investigation about the people upstairs or anything, but there was a bullet that went through the ceiling onto the floor.
Okay, so she's in in an apartment building.
Correct. She's in an apartment building.
There's someone above her.
Yeah, I'm assuming so because it came from the ceiling. She said
So
there was a ceiling, there was a hole in the ceiling, and then she noticed. She looked down. She saw her carpet first. It looked like a little like the carpet had shredded a little bit, and she looked up and she saw there was a bullet hole in the ceiling.
So it'd
Okay.
have to be the people from upstairs.
Yeah.
Right. But she said she didn't hear a gunshot though. So I was like, I was
But
trying to think.
it happened overnight. I mean,
Maybe
it can
she
happen.
sleeps like the dead. I
Yeah.
mean, because really,
It
what
can't be
else could it
missed.
be?
Right.
I mean, so let's dive into that a little bit, right? So dealing with people in apartment complexes, which we talk about this all the time, even in matters of defending yourself or your household, right? Over penetration and things like that. When it comes to what caliber, what type of ammunition you're going to be using to defend yourself, right? Like those are things you got to keep in mind, when protecting your household, especially when you live in
Really
an
can.
apartment building.
It took 5 months for that bullet to come down.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But I'm sure in this case, somebody was doing something stupid and shot through the floor.
Probably.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing else. I mean, they're literally just lucky that there was nobody standing there.
Right.
And that they were in the bed
like
sleep.
A freak accident or it happened in the wrong room.
Right.
Because that was her thing. She was like, it could have happened while my 2-year-old was walking around.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that is unfortunate to see because let's say, just out of sake of argument that, her 2-year-old, or herself were walking around and that happened, and the person upstairs, I mean, whatever ignorant stuff that he was doing, that literally just, ended their life.
Yep.
Just like that, playing with the gun, and I'm sure somebody that's playing with the gun did make sure it was unloaded and bang, there you go.
You are liable for that bullet. And that's the unfortunate part about people not understanding why we say use a certain caliber or what you should have in your gun at the time in time of need. Because like you said, she's in an apartment and they probably had a full metal jacket bullet in the gun, and that's the reason why it went through the floor and then onto her apartment. Because it can happen.
It's just one of those things, man. Like, come on, Petersburg. Like, I mean, I don't know what's been going on with Petersburg the last month, man. Petersburg has been wilding, man. Like, I don't know.
And a student actually got shot on Virginia State's campus here this past week as well. Inside the dorm room. Yeah, inside the dorm room was a young lady. She got shot. She said she had injuries on. They didn't say anything about any fatalities or anything, but they did say she got shot inside of the one of the dorm rooms on campus.
Dang.
Oh, see, I don't know, man. People be careful out here, man. You can't trust your neighbors, and you can't trust that your neighbor's gonna do the right thing and all of that type of stuff, man. Because I don't know, man. People out here ain't thinking, man. People not thinking rationally or logically, and they don't care about you.
Especially when it comes to guns. People are a little bit more.
Another one.
Oh God.
People don't care, man. But yeah, man. What else you got, B?
That's all I had for today. I just wanted to speak about these self-defense issues that we got going on, especially in Petersburg. There are a lot of shootings that's been going on here in Petersburg, Virginia. We just need everybody to chill out and relax.
No, well, I thought you had one more with those daggone kids.
Well, I don't have a story about that. I wanted you to play that next.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a story behind it.
Look, man, let's. All right, so. This next clip I'm gonna bring up, right?
Breon is on it. So Breon said she knew the person that it was. See, I didn't even see that news story. I just saw that it was shot through the ceiling. So
she said she knew the person.
Jesus Christ! All right,
and that it was an accident.
See, See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't have been an accident if it had been one of them would have gotten hurt. Oh, at VC. Okay, I was gonna say I thought somebody the chick with the ceiling. Like what? What?
Oh, at VSU.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter. They shouldn't have had a gun on campus anyway. I mean,
You're
when
not
they
allowed
walking
to
out,
say you're not
you're
allowed to
allowed to
have
have a gun on
firearms
campus.
on campuses.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's like immediate expulsion.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
and whoever it was, they should be expelled.
Right.
Just
Exactly.
like all of these damn stupid ass kids that I'm about to pull up now. So I don't know if y'all can see this. I wanted to enlarge it, but I don't know if I can.
Can you
But
drag your screen? Make your screen larger? There you go.
yeah, I guess. Man, all right. So we're gonna look at this clip, man. First of all, we didn't talked about it so many times before, right? Why are we so pressed to tell on ourselves anyway, right? We got to take videos and pictures of everything that we do to make it easier for us to get locked up. I just never understood that. But in this case, I don't know, man. All these kids, I don't know, man. All these kids got to be talked
Teenager.
to, expelled, something like that. Which I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. We got an announcement to make on that front too. But everybody, man, look at this crap, man. How do I play it?
We not even gonna play like that for no grade. Y'all see them killers in here? Hey, stop playing with my shorty. Hang on. I know how y'all coming, shorty. What's that word, man? It's about 100 glickers in this bitch.
How did this even happen?
We not even gonna play like that for no grade. Y'all see them killers in
One
here?
more time.
Hey, stop playing with my shorty. Hang on. I know how y'all coming, shorty. What's that word, man? It's about 100 glickers in this bitch.
So, right.
Whew, Lord Jesus.
Wow, how stupid.
But he don't know no better. He don't know no better.
But everybody that's dapping him up and everything, like your face is clear in the camera. All of y'all,
They don't know
likely
no
there
better.
will be a story saying that they all got expelled for having guns at school. And then what's going to happen is what we had at TJ. They're going to get metal detectors. And they're going to feel like a bunch of criminals because that's what's going to happen.
I'm speechless.
Bruh. Yo,
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
So we got sent this video on Instagram, and
they ain't taking care of me. Shit.
We got sent this video on Instagram, and when I saw it, I was like, unbelievable, man. Like, I don't know, man. Unfucking believable.
Once
I think
again,
Mr. Hayes sent that, man. I don't know.
Where
parents?
Right. Like, why?
You don't notice that your 5-6 guns is missing? Like, where are your parents?
Your whole armory is in that boy book bag, literally.
I mean, for real though. I mean, all the guns, but it won't just him though. All of them that walked past had them on it. Like
AR, pistols, Glocks. Like, what is happening right now?
And I'm like, these kids, what? 12, 13, 14, the oldest might be 15 or something like that. I'm like, damn, man. Like,
but I mean, you talking about life-ending decision. Like, this is a life-ending decision. Because what's to stop the school district from thinking that you were coming in there to do harm to the entire school? Like, they don't even play them kind of games anymore like this.
Not even close.
You are literally ending your entire life by doing this and putting it on social media. You could have kept this shit to yourself.
So I was like, my man got a whole AR pistol tucked in his
No,
pants.
it was two. It was two of them. So he has one tucked in his pants. If you look in that book bag, that other kid had two of them in his bag. One had a rattle can to it, and one was black. There are two. He has like 5 or 6 Glocks in his bag.
You know, like it's just unfortunate, man. Like it really pissed me off because I'm like, bro, I'm like, yo, one, these kids ain't got enough money to get, no
it ain't about the money. They're not able
let me
to
finish. Let me finish. Like they ain't got enough money to buy these burners on the street, So it's like I know these firearms got to belong to somebody in the household. You know what I'm saying? And who's ever, I mean, bro, I hate to say it, man, but whoever the fuck that was, man, whoever guns they is, man, need to go. They need to get up out of here, man, because we don't know if these guns loaded and stuff like that. And then of course in the blink of an eye, somebody get to arguing because they got, that steel courage on them. And next thing you know, it's a damn gunfight out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, seriously. That's screaming gunfight. Or that is screaming. Oh, I got that Jonah when he said the pipe. Look at these pipes I got up in here. It's definitely gonna happen. And that's the unfortunate part about it.
I don't know, man. It really pissed me off watching this jump because I was like, man, what's going on with the youth, man? And like really what's going on with the youth, and that's going to be one of the topics of conversation tonight. Because
I mean, literally, like, I wonder what the parents. This is once he put it on social media, it's gone viral at this point. And of course, this is the first thing everybody will keep sharing, and then I'm just like, I just want to be that fly on the wall when those parents seen this video. I mean, or even parents that didn't even know these kids, that their children goes to the same school.
I guarantee you, they've already seen it.
I'm sure they did.
And the school board has at least seen it. So there's probably already some repercussions that have already happened and have come out of this. We just don't know.
Bro, whose gym are you in?
Like, what gym are you in? That's
what
the
school
thing.
is this, yo? I need to know.
I mean, it's literally like
I couldn't be the extra student in there because I'd snitch on everybody. I'm telling on everyone.
Seriously.
They have a whole room full of guns. And I don't know what they plan on doing. Because, I mean, like I said, like, there's too many school shootings to make this be okay for the people who are not involved. Like, I would freak out. I'd tell somebody. And I'd say it's on social media. You should go watch it. Because
it just pissed me off. I don't know if the guns pissed me off or his fat ass over there dapping people up and fucking dabbing on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just pissed me off, man. This whole video just pisses me off.
I counted from what I see at least 13 guns within approximately 5 feet of each other.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I'm getting off of that jump. Like, that jump blew me, man. You said I don't believe the kids went to school. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, I can't see it, but I was trying to look at the background, but I'm like, yo, that looks like a school gymnasium, bro.
That's a school gym.
Yeah, it's definitely a school gym. Because
gymnasium, goddamn.
Oh yeah, I mean, still the same thing. But
I know I'm
just proper. 55. But you can tell it's a school gymnasium. I'm gonna say it with you because you can see the logo and the stuff on the ground. Like, it can't be a YMCA for sure. Like, it's nothing generic about that gym that screams YMCA or public gym. It screams high school.
I was gonna say a high school gym.
But you know one thing about it though, you know how social media is, right? That dumbass boy right there whose camera it was, it's gonna get around. Like
already done.
it's gonna get out, and they gonna get the repercussions one way or the other. Like it's coming. I'm just waiting on the update. You know,
The
on the
only
update
way
story.
that I could even see this remotely happening is this is probably after school. This is probably not during school.
Okay, that makes a good point. That's
So
a good
it's
point.
probably after school because I mean, like, I can't imagine you being able to walk around the school with all them guns and nobody noticed, nobody picked up on it. Y'all snuggled up tight. I mean, I don't know where this is at or when it happened.
Well, they got big jackets on, so it's somewhere up north.
I was gonna say it's
Right. I'm
somewhere
like,
cold.
so
Like
they
y'all
had
Somewhere
H&H
cold.
jackets on, so that got to be like Maryland or DMV somewhere, like because y'all love the
or
I want.
even
H&H jackets
further
up there.
north.
I
Because I
mean,
mean,
I say
like
further north because
I
it
was gonna
was too
say, it's
many.
warming up down here, so you
Mm-hmm.
look suspicious with that big ass jacket on.
You know,
So it's just that entire situation is sad and very stupid.
bro, I
And
swear that one fat
ruined.
kid blows me, yo.
He didn't even have no gun on him. He was just
He
in the background
did,
of the picture. He was just in the
but he
video.
knew though. That's the thing.
Did he? Because he wasn't paying. Like he wasn't facing
They were
everybody.
all doing the same dap to each other, literally.
Yeah,
Oh,
Whatever they.
he
I wonder
knew all about
I
it.
wonder
Look
if it's
at him,
gang
look at
related
him,
then.
So
pants all
it's
down
got to be gang related. Like it
I
has
said,
and
I
to
wonder
be.
if it's
titties.
gang related, and then
Yeah,
this is probably why they didn't say anything to them.
You know,
they're
but
all
yeah,
doing the same handshake, like literally.
you know,
Mm. That's
these
probably
kids,
why they
bro.
didn't say anything, because there might be a school that has a lot of gang violence in the school,
Yeah,
You
it's
which
know,
sad.
is
so
also sad.
this leads me to the topic, right? Like what is it that we have to do, with the youth right now, man? Um, City of Richmond reached out today, and actually called about some things that we were already trying to do and trying to figure out how to establish in the community, in regards to some type of initiative or program, about the youth, and related to these firearms. It's one thing for us in the Second Amendment community, to stress, safety and things like that. But these kids out here, they're viewing things totally different. Um, they have no regard, one, for human life, because I mean they wilding, they seeing, what's going on, and I mean I don't know who they want to be, but it's becoming a problem, and I'm going to say that a lot of the stuff that's going on here, around the city are done by these teenagers, these teens, these 17, 18, 19-year olds. You know what I'm saying? So what is it, that you believe that we can do, um to kind of stop this, you know what I'm saying? And I just noticed, I'm like, yo, one of them one of those Glocks, in that bag had a switch on it. I don't know if you caught it. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up. Like one of those Glocks in there had a switch on it. Hold on, wait for it. I don't know if I can. Boom. Dang, the thing would be right there. But it got a switch on it. Which definitely means, well, one, of course, that's not a legal Glock now. So whoever found that, is in more shit than we can even begin to talk about right now. But what are the things that we can do in the community, man, to try to stop what's going on, man? What's the problem first before we can even really figure out a way to stop it?
Well, my biggest thing, especially with mothers, they're saying, "Hey, I'm getting a gun, but I don't want my kids to know I have it." And my first thing to tell them, when you're ready, that conversations needed to be had, and those conversations are not happening. And my thing is, everybody says curiosity kills the cat. Take these kids, let them know that you have the gun. Let them know what it's for. You teach them what you learn. You take a class, tell them go home and do the same thing at home. to me, psychologically, that gives kids like, all right, whatever, I'm cool with that. All right. So it's all about the upbringing, and it's unfortunate. I'm more than positive that since what I caught on that they were doing a dap or whatever this hand gesture was that they were doing, obviously it was gang related. I'm sure of it that they have parents or a parent that has been in the gang as well, or this same sad gang.
Like, I feel like education, right? That works for, like, I ain't gonna say normal kids, right? But in a normal household, like ours or yours out there, you teach your kids, you bonding with them, teaching them things, stuff like that. But here, with these kids, it's different.
I mean, and that's
They
true.
they view this, so I feel like a harsher approach of some sort needs to be taken. And I ain't talking about locking people up and shit like that, but I'm talking about these kids, I think, need to see firsthand, or in
But
some type of way, the ramifications of firearms and the damage that they actually do inflict on the human body.
But the unfortunate part, they may not have that type of life or able to get that, to be able to get that or have that readily available to them. And the only way they are going to learn, unfortunately, is getting caught with that firearm or something happening with that firearm for them to even learn their lesson behind the firearm. Yeah, everybody don't have the same access or the same thing as some other kids that are fortunate enough to have. However, you either gonna learn the easy way or the hard way. Easy way, the parents letting them know about a firearm and letting, because they can't buy it themselves. So it's the only way they can get them is, from the street or from them going in their closet. Either that parent tells them about a firearm and let them know, even if that parent don't even care for firearms, they should still, they know that they're out here, and they know that they're readily available wherever they are. Like I said, it's the easy way or the hard way. You either learn from somebody, from an adult, or learn from a trained person and take advantage of these trainers, or either you're just going to have to learn the hard way, and that's getting the gun not the proper way and getting caught with it, and then your lesson then comes there, which is the unfortunate part. So there's really I feel like there's no way to really teach a child unless something happens, or it I just say a step-by-step process.
Well, I'm talking about, yeah, so specifically, these types of kids, right?
Right.
It's unfortunate that many of them will have to go, in the system in some form of capacity in order to get some type of help, right? But even then, I feel like it doesn't do much, right? For a lot of them, some do change, right? But some, they use that as, their badge of, their badge of honor for whatever particular reason, and continue on doing what they're doing. I just feel like it has to be a way, and there should be a way, and we're currently working on ways, to try to figure this thing out, because it's really sad to see. It's like, yo, what happens when these kids do sneak these things in school, and now some beef, now some real problems ahead with some of the organizations or other kids at the school and stuff like that. And now you got a shootout at school. Now you're on the news. Now you locked up, or somebody dead, and things like that. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not an advocate of having metal detectors in school, because when I went to school, or one of my schools, and we had to wait outside to go to the metal detector and stuff like that. And it became a new norm for us. But now it's like, I kind of understand and I see why, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's a double-edged sword because I don't feel like you should have to go through a metal detector to go to school, and kind of already perpetuate that lifestyle, to adolescence, but at the same time, you got to protect everybody, or try your best to protect everybody.
I feel like, you think about when we were going to school, 4-H was a big thing. Dare to be different was a huge thing when we were in school. They don't do those programs anymore. I don't see many Dare teachers or anything out anymore. I don't see many 4-H programs in the inner city, maybe because they don't have the resources for it. But you have to think about the only way to get to these kids, especially for the parents who don't care or just like, all right, whatever, he in the street, I'm done with it. I don't wipe my hands and stuff of little JJ and I can't do anything about him. They just let them go on about their business. But the only way you can really get to kids would be in school, which politically that's frowned upon, having firearms in school, or frowned upon about kids being taught about firearms. So I feel like it's like a revolving door. Like, we can say as much as we want to kids, and that nowadays kids don't really want to listen, but those things those programs they had in place, we don't do them anymore. You don't even teach kids about credit in school. So what make us think that we're able to teach them about firearms as well? And those are real life situations. Credit is a real life thing. Firearms is a real life thing. Drugs are a real life thing. These are things that they are able to get their hands on, and we can't even teach them about those things in school. And I mean, I feel like there's really no place for us to even try to even make a program for school to make it dumb it down a little bit to teach kids about firearms and not be so vague about it.
Well, I definitely think 4-H needs to come back in some form
Right.
or capacity. I felt like I never grew up. I didn't grow up with 4-H programs or anything like that. But as I began to learn about them and read about them, and talk to other people who were in 4-H or either are sponsors or teachers in 4-H. I really began to see the need for it, and I feel like those counties that do have some type of program like that in place, you don't see, a lot of the same things, right? And of course, to play devil's advocate, right? You say, well, these kids over here, or these adolescents over here aren't prone to some of the same things that these adolescents over here might be prone to. So we couldn't do the same type of things. And I can kind of see it from that point of view as well, but I feel like the two definitely correlate,
Yeah, we still got them same parents though. They don't give a damn about their kids. I'm dead. That's the unfortunate part.
I mean, yeah, and you see a lot of that too, so I used to coach football, youth football, and believe it or not, it wasn't even sometimes it wasn't even a lot of parental support with something constructive like that, and so I feel like the parents, we as parents have to be a lot more active, in these kids' lives, man. See, because I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish Quincy Banks would, you know what I'm saying, catch me with a pistol, or somebody that told her that I was playing with a gun or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like those things really matter. But hell, some of these guns these kids got probably are their parents. You know what I'm saying? Or family members or something like that, whoever they stay with, or they pawned off on their grandparents and stuff like that. And grandma really ain't got time to, you know what I'm saying, to fool with them because they ain't got the patience no more. They don't know what to do with these kids, you know. And then, of course, I mean, look, I'm going into a whole different
But Breon, and that's the thing. So in Brunswick County, we started 4-H as young as probably like first grade, maybe, and then Dare to Be Different started right before middle school. So they did look at the age thing and take that in account. And that's what I can appreciate about when we were going to school. Of course, we weren't thinking about these things. Social media wasn't very readily available. We didn't see these things. We didn't really care about guns. We didn't have really, games that showed every type of gun in the world. And that's the sad part about it. That's a real life situation. We have now we need to take account of things that is happening now. We're not in the old times anymore. These kids are playing these games, have access to this social media, and that's why he felt like it was okay to put on social media because, hey, I got this gun, I'm putting on social media because I seen him do it the other day, and I'm at school, and I don't care, and I'm just who I am. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's the sad part about it. Like, we were scared to do these things. We were freaking afraid. I would have never, not just me, I'm sure there were other kids that did have access to firearms, wouldn't have never brought that crap to school, ever.
right, and the kids that may have tried to do something like so. At one point, like kids would like sneak a knife to school, and even then, like it was a big thing. Like yo, you brought a knife to school, like stuff like that.
You think about it, kids get in trouble for bringing a plastic gun to school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I do remember that too.
I mean, a water gun, any type of variation of it, whatever. If it looked like a gun, you were in trouble for it.
Yeah, and you heard it, and it resonated throughout the whole school.
Oh my God!
I don't know, man. It's different, man. But one of these things I'm excited to do is put together some type of initiative to kind of stop this stuff, and whether we got to deal with the kids and the adolescents that have already got themselves into some situations and some trouble because of firearms. Yes, well, I know we got to deal with them, but we also got to deal with, we got to somehow connect with the kids in middle school, and hell, maybe even late elementary, and especially high school and stuff like that too, to somehow get into these kids' ear, to give them a different way of thinking, everybody wants to be cool, and I don't know, man, like a lot of the things my mother used to tell me growing up, really starts to make sense now. But it's important for us to really figure this out, and it's important on our behalf, as a company.
And I feel like most of these children that we're probably going to talk to are like us, and they need to see somebody like them in this industry because they don't see that, and they don't know that.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord, baby.
You said what's different now?
Shit, we go to jail for that too, whipping ass. But
yeah, right. You can't even whoop ass no more.
Mm-mm.
That's the unfortunate part about it.
Right.
And I'm sure a lot of these parents don't know what to do with their kids, man.
They don't. They don't have any control of them, and they just follow what their friends do, and those friends are the tainted ones. And just all it takes is one bad apple. That's all it takes.
But yeah, so what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna shift gears a little bit and talk about something else. And that is understanding the differences, right, between cheap and expensive.
Ooh.
This is something that we as a group talk about a lot, right? We we try to get people to understand, right? There's a difference between, cheap optics and cheap guns and expensive guns and, and expensive optics and accessories and things like that, you know. And what I'll start off by saying to that is, um, yeah, you gotta start somewhere. That's for sure. Um, you do gotta start somewhere. If you don't have a firearm and you don't have the biggest budget, for a firearm, then you need to get whatever is in your budget that you can train with, that you can learn about, and stuff like that. But the problem that I have, and I'm just gonna keep it real, the problem that I have is when we want more of the expensive things, but don't understand that that stuff is more expensive. So what I say is, right, somebody, if you come in and say, yo, I want the FN, FNX 45 tactical. All right, cool. I say, well, yeah, that's gonna be, 1,300, on that. I said, damn, $1,300 now. I'm like, well, obviously you don't necessarily know what you want. We have to understand that whatever sounds cool because of whatever somebody else may have or what you'd have heard about, you'd have seen things like that. You got to understand there's a difference in the price.
Mm-hmm.
When you start talking about FNs and CZs and HK things of that nature, you got to understand that those brands, those firearms come with a price tag. Hell, even Glock. We love Glocks, right? We love Glocks, right?
Bruh.
Hell no.
Lord.
Listen.
Well, Breon, I ain't gonna agree with you on that one.
No, you do get what you pay for.
I mean, you kind of do, but at the same time, you don't. You can get a nice gun for a low price.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Look,
Are you
no,
serious?
no, because see, that's the thing, right? What I'm trying to get people to understand, right? Those people that come to us that ask for Glocks, right? They want Glocks, and you got the Glock 19, you got the Glock 23, 27, 30, 35, 40, whatever the fuck, you want all of this stuff, but
Sky price.
you right, you can literally, afford like a Sky or Taurus and stuff like that, and that's fine. That's totally fucking fine. But what I'm saying is, you got to understand, the things that you want, and the brands and things like that you are looking for. Those things inherently cost more, right?
And it's not for the free.
I'm not gonna give it away for free. One thing about it, right? So I'm gonna use this cat as an example. So we had a Smith & Wesson SD9V, right? Of course, we sell it at 365 or 375, something like that. And if you come in, you say, "Hey, I want that gun. How much that gun?" Just there, I tell you, and you say, "Well, can you do such and such and such?" I say, "Well, I'll look out for you the best way I can." But then when you start coming in with things like, "Oh man, can you weigh the taxes?" or can you weigh these fees and things like that? And I'm like, "Hey, like I said, I'll work with you the best way that I can." But then you say, "Well, man, I don't know if I got it." This is after we do the background check and stuff like that. Well, my baby's got to get some food. I got to go get my. Well, sir, you don't need to be in here buying no gun. If your baby needs food stuff, you need to take this whole $375 and go to the store and buy some food. Right. You don't need to be buying no gun. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that killed me. You know what I'm saying? So I just need people to understand. I'm like, yo, get what's in your price range, right? When you're ready to work up to
set a budget.
Set a budget. It's all about you ain't got to get it right now. You can work your way up to it. But there are inherent differences between lower end things, lower end products, and higher end and more expensive products.
By the way, people, you can own more than one firearm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you add to the collection.
Yeah, it's a collection.
Even if you want to trade up eventually, stuff like that. But right, so we look at things, right. So let's use Taurus as an example because we do like Taurus, right? Because they do actually make a fairly decent gun, in a reasonable price range that people can learn and train, and stuff like that. There's a lot of people, that get their Taurus, and actually shoot really well. I seen a guy shoot skies phenomenally well, you know. So it doesn't really matter, like as long as you're willing to put the training in, in nets. And then he put that skyway and pulled out an FN.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's like,
and I
wait
was
a minute.
and it threw me all the way up. You know what I'm saying? But you do get what you pay for, right?
Dang,
in the
kid.
grand scheme of things. Listen, the way that dude shot with that sky, I was very impressed, right? I was very impressed. He did have his jamming issue or something like that, but I was thoroughly impressed. But so using Taurus as an example, right? A good budget friendly firearm, and then looking at, the CZ Shadow, right? On the opposite end of the spectrum. They're made completely different, the quality in which they're made, right? And we as a community, a Second Amendment community, have to understand that the better something is made, that's not just with guns, that's just in general, period, right? The better something is made, the more that it's going to cost. When you got a all steel frame and a very polished trigger, and the internals are very well put together, and the grip and the ergonomics, and like all of that stuff matters, and you can't expect one thing, a CZ, right, and how that's made in a Taurus configuration and price point. It just doesn't work that way. When people build guns, there's a lot of gunsmiths that build rifles, very well-tuned ARs, and they might charge, $1,300 for it, but you got to think. You say, well, why do I need to pay this, that, and the third for this gun? Well, you don't really. There's a gun or an alternative, in a cheaper price point. I'm sure of it. But when you start thinking about what a gunsmith or what a manufacturer starts to put into this firearm, and all of that stuff, and the time that it takes, yeah, of course you want to be compensated for that, and the manufacturers are no different. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot harder. I was talking to a guy today who builds firearms or builds rifles, who has built 458 SOCOMs and 50 Beowulf, ARs and AR-10s, and have people not really understand the quality, as well as the amount of time that it took to build, a AR-10 in that particular caliber. It took a lot, and I'm sure it took a lot for them to not only find the parts, but to get it tuned and put together, to where it's shooting phenomenally, and you won't have any issues down the line, right? And if somebody charges $1,400 for that rifle, then as it should, because it's a very well put together and very rare, but a lot of us don't really seem to understand how that works, especially in the gun industry, mainly because we haven't been around guns for that long, so we don't really understand the differences in quality, when it comes to certain firearms. Well, at least that's what I'm saying. I mean, it could be something else. So maybe somebody else can offer me a different perspective on it, but that's just what I think, about it.
That is true, but you still get the job done, regardless of what gun you buy, as long as you train with it.
Yeah, I mean, understood. I mean, that's understood, but that ain't really the point, though. You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand your point, but still, I understand people get this facade that they're supposed to have this, and their pockets ain't right for it.
You know, so Breon buying, a Mossberg 590. That's not a cheap shotgun, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Mossberg 591 is a very popular shotgun, right? Mossberg makes is a very well put together, shotgun. And you talking about stream license, and surefire lights and stuff like that on it, then yeah, that stuff costs a lot more. Like if you want to get a Crimson Trace flashlight, right, for $50, $60, opposed to a Streamlight or Surefire flashlight at $200. You know what I'm saying? Um, those things you just got to work your way up to. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about knowing what your budget is and knowing, if you want something of quality, first you need to do your research on it. Why is this gun better than this gun? Why does this gun cost more than this gun? Why is this gun $700 more than this gun? Right? So you got the Garrison, what's that? The Garrison MC9, and the Beretta 92. Both of them are made very similar, very uh, very good quality on both, right? But of course, the Beretta, is $200 more. One, you paying for the name, and two, Beretta does some things that Gearsan might not do within the internals of the firearm. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, the Regard MC. Yeah, there we go. I was having a brain fart. You know, but yeah, my thing is, we just came out with a shirt to say y'all got any $300 Glocks, because we get that question, a lot for whatever particular reason, and we tell everybody like, no, you're not gonna find Glocks, without no bodies on them for $300. You know, it just don't work like that. If you find it used, you might be able to find it used before COVID, for maybe low fours or something like that, but that's just not the way it is. If you want Glock or SIG or something like that, then you got to be prepared, to automatically know that's 550, 600, 650, depending on what you want. If you want Taurus, you got to know, that's 270, 300, Smith and Wesson, that's always going to be, upper threes, mid fours, mid to high fours, you know, um, stuff like that. You just got to know. But of course, the more you're around these products and really start to understand what you're getting with these products, then you'll understand why it costs a little bit more. It's all about what you want. I'll always say get the gun, that you can afford right now, unless you want to start saving up to get something better. It ain't the end of the world if you can't get, the Glock 23 right now, and you got to get the Smith right now. That's totally fine. I got to save up a little bit of money or trade up, when you got the money, but there's definitely a distance, a difference, between, cheap and expensive in this industry, just like anything else.
Definitely. You can definitely tell like the feeling difference. Like when we checked out the staccatos at Shot Show.
Right, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
like the feel, like the difference, definitely worth. What were they, like $5,000 or something? Like,
yeah, like $4,000 or
definitely
$5,000
worth that money. It ain't something that I can afford right now, but definitely worth that $5,000.
A brother can dream.
Bruh, I will dream right along with you because that thing was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you get what you pay for. And even though, like, even if you're starting out, though, it's not necessarily that your cheaper gun is going to be worse than the more expensive gun. It allows you to train with it and use it and everything like that. And as a new shooter, you may not even tell the difference. You're not gonna know that what you have is different than something else. But as you get more comfortable and you spend more on your guns, you realize, okay, well, this gun, shoots nicer, or the slide pulls back better, or the trigger is smoother. It's less pounds pressure, whatever that pulls on it. Like it just is different. But
Well,
you won't know starting out when you're new.
that's a great point, Aisha. I'm glad you said that, because I did want to bring that up, and I totally forgot about it. So one thing that we talk about a lot, right, with mechanics, right, is how good those triggers are stock right out of the box, right? But everybody talks about that, like that's a selling point of the mechanics. Like, man, that trigger is amazing, this, then the third. But if you haven't been shooting long enough to understand what a good trigger feels like opposed to a bad trigger, what I'm saying to you really doesn't even register, or you're telling somebody else how good of a trigger or bad of a trigger it is, but you haven't been shooting enough to really know yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a staccato and feeling how, smooth that trigger is or how the break is opposed to, something else, like, if you don't know starting off, then you only telling other people what you have heard yourself, not what you actually know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so that does I'm glad you
I
brought that up.
mean, and like the people that, like Breon was saying, person that has spent $500 on Jordans, to them they understand the value of the Jordans. To them, the Jordans are worth the $500. When you've never purchased a gun, shot a gun, never done nothing with the gun, to you, the value of that gun is not worth you spending 600, 700, 800, $1,000 on it. To you, it's not worth that until you actually learn more about it and you get into it. So the biggest thing, like we always say, is to do your research, know what you're talking about, know where you need to start, what you can afford. I feel like it's a good thing to start towards the bottom so that you know where you started at, work and train with that gun. And then as you get better, all your mishaps and everything that you might have is on the cheaper gun. And then when you
So
get better, you understand the value of that more expensive gun.
So all we saying, don't come and say I'm a first time shooter, first time gun on. You want a Desert Eagle?
Bruh, because you don't want a Desert Eagle,
That's
or
all we saying.
I'm used to shooting with a Desert Eagle. Oh, but this gun feels really heavy. You ain't never shot with a Desert Eagle, then you
Oh yeah,
you
talking
don't
about
know
that
what
girl
you're
from the
talking
gun
about.
show.
Yeah,
Stop
you ain't
that.
you ain't never shot with a Desert Eagle before, because that Desert Eagles are heavy. So you don't know what you're talking about. You
The
just saying stuff.
airsoft Desert Eagle is heavy.
Yeah,
Yo, like seriously. So I'm just
yeah.
like, it's important to
Yeah,
do the
baby.
research and understand. I mean, like, women with our hair will spend a whole bunch of money on it, the weave and everything, because to us that is a valuable thing. We understand the value of more expensive hair, the quality of it, what that means, and like the quality of a hairstylist who charges more. Cool, get with that. The same can be applied to a gun. If you start at the bottom, okay, this is the gun that I got, but I know that this gun over here is nicer because I've been practicing and training with this cheaper gun. Not to say that it's not going to get the job done, because it definitely will, but you will be able to understand the value of that more expensive gun because you've shot something that's not as expensive, and maybe the parts aren't as smooth, or the trigger isn't as nice, or the whatever isn't that great, or whatever. You feel and you could tell the differences between the cheaper gun versus the more expensive one.
And that's not to say that we over here shoot like all the most expensive shit, because that's not true. Like, like me right now, where I am, and in terms of my budget, like I'm a middle of the road guy, like upper middle of the road, like in terms of optics, right? You got NC Star, ATI, things like that, that you
Somebody black kid from YouTube.
bruh, what?
Oh,
Um,
God.
And then so NC Star, ATI, and stuff like that. Then in the middle of the road, you got Hollison and the Romeos, you know, and then of course, then you got your aim points, so your EOTechs and things like that, you know.
I mean, I ain't
Like
scared to say I got an NC Star on my AR pistol, and it worked just fine.
no, you got ATI, baby.
No, it's not. It's NC Star, honey.
Mm-mm,
We're gonna look at it this evening, okay?
mm-mm.
Okay.
Anyway,
No, we not.
I got like what I got on my rifles. I got Romeo fives on my rifles, which not the most expensive. They were like 160 to 170 bucks. I got a scope. I got a Trijicon on one of my rifles. That was a little bit more, or considerably more.
Fancy.
Or Hollison's, on my shadow systems. Like you got to think, like middle of the road, like not something that's gonna break my budget or my bank, but that's something that's reliable. But you got to get the Ken got the Romeo 6, yeah. You got to get some, that's going to work. But you want something that's affordable for you, but that is still going to be reliable. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make, right? Don't go so cheap that you just want something on your gun or you want a gun, especially dealing with optics and foregrips. Stop getting those. Look, this is a service announcement. Stop getting those optics on Amazon with the 1 to 15 zoom and the red dot over top with the flashlight on one side and the laser
that shit come from
on
China.
it with for $47. Like, stop getting that shit. You know what I'm saying? And putting that on your $600, $700, $800 rifle. That if you look at the the fine print, like a lot of that stuff is meant for airsoft guns. You know what I'm saying? But you putting it on your battle rifles. You drop it once, you done lost zero. You done cut the laser on 2 times, now it's dead. Stop getting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Anything you get, if you're gonna spend $700, $800 on the rifle, try your best to get something, that's going to work for you in the event that you may need it. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's a great point. Bushnell, yeah, Bushnell, I like those. Those are good. I mean, you talking about Hollison and Vortex, yeah, you got money, Breon. I know that already. But but stop getting those all-inclusive red dot sights for $50. Like that stuff, you're gonna hinder yourself in the long run because it's gonna stop working and you're gonna pay another $50 to get it to replace it. Get yourself something of some quality, that you're gonna have for a while. All you got to do is change the batteries when it dies.
But I mean that goes back to understanding the value of a more expensive sight. I mean, people don't understand the value of that. Like without knowing the worth of it, you're not gonna spend no extra money for something that's not worth it to you.
Well,
That's the biggest thing. Like I feel like the biggest thing for understanding the cost of something, even when you start out, is getting educated on it. And that's a big stickler for a lot of people in the Black community, especially. We don't really we feel like we already know every damn thing. So getting educated on stuff like firearms and the sights and the purpose of it, and actually making a good investment in it, it ain't worth it to us. That's not worth it right now. A lot of people, especially in the Black community, you see a lot of like them kids you saw, they just doing this for likes. They just doing it because it's popular. They're just doing it because it's cool right now. Guns are in right now, so they just buying them just to be buying them. To them, this has no value to them. They don't understand the purpose or the point, so they're setting themselves up for failure without actually doing the research and getting educated on what they are doing. Because purchasing a gun, it's an investment. It's not just a one-time thing where you just get to do it and then that's it. It's an investment. You buy a gun, it's an investment. If you put it in a drawer somewhere, your investment is not going to grow. If
Right.
you buy a firearm and you actually intend to use it, then you are the person who will go get educated, do the training and stuff like that. You are making good on your investment, and you will be the person that understands the value of getting the more expensive sight when you can afford it, or getting the more expensive gun when you can afford it. But if you just doing this just for likes and just for fun, this is not worth it to you. You're not going to use that gun for nothing but to get yourself hurt.
Yeah. And two, when you do get whatever optic or spend some money, like make sure you know how to use it. Like we were at the range Sunday, and the guy, the range officer, was like, "What do you say?" The dude was shooting, and it was ricocheting off the
The wall or the
yeah
carrier.
the carrier, because you shooting with your AR, right? But don't have the optic on. You know what I'm saying? And so, one, I can go into so many rants about how stupid that is, to not realize, like, yes, you have to turn the red dot on, in order to aim properly. And two, you have to zero that optic in to actually know what you're aiming at. You know what I'm saying? We just got to do better. We just can't get stuff, because it's cool. All of our tools, we have to know what we're doing with them. Like it's so many people that I've seen, just get the AR and no optic, no flip up sights, nothing, and just shooting. Like, what are you aiming at? You ain't got no sights on your AR. How are you aiming? Like it just looks crazy. Like,
Hopes and dreams. What you talking about?
yeah, I mean, just on a wing and a prayer, just out there, just dumping rounds and not aiming at nothing. Now you shooting up people walls and carriers and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. We got to do better. Get some training, man. Come on out and shoot with us. We definitely, we encourage everybody, man. Come on out and shoot with us. Which leads me into my final points for the night, right? We got some clubs coming, man. The shooting clubs, the VTSA shooting clubs, and the lady VTSA shooting club. We gonna be starting that probably in a few, or probably next week, something like that. Memberships, and we
Praying
gonna
is
be,
praying.
yeah, we're gonna be getting together. Trying to build and strengthen this community, man, because it ain't just about us, man. Everybody, you know, think about things differently. It's sometimes it's about growing the community. If I'm the leader of that community, I don't give a damn about none of that, man. If we say we're gonna grow the community, let's grow the community. If we're gonna say we're gonna fellowship, let's go fellowship. If we're gonna shoot together, we're gonna have a good time, then let's do that. So yeah, the Virginia Tactical Shooting Club is coming up. And the Lady VTSA Shooting Club is coming as well. Let's all get together and shoot, and we'll be putting out that information on Instagram and Facebook. Probably by the end of the week or next week, something like that. But I do want to announce, man, the Virginia Tactical, man, the VTSA merch. You know, we've been getting a lot of questions about it, man, and we here, right? We here. And we gotta know we got a few more shirts to upload to the website. But yes, the merch is in, and we should have the rest of those shirts and hats and things like that, up on the website by the end of the week.
And
You
it's
know,
online only.
yeah, we doing online, so you can go ahead and get your sizes, your correct sizes, and things like that. Because I know the first time we did it, we didn't order enough 2X's or 3X's. It was a headache, but we got it. We got it right this time, man. Order your shirts online, man. Of course, one of my favorites, man. Y'all got any $300 Glocks? Yeah, I can't wait to get my shirt in. Sport that around, man. And for the ladies, man, we got packing and unbothered.
And
Of course,
unisex.
unisex. Okay, for sure. And then we got some Virginia tactical stuff being uploaded as well, man. So super excited about that, man. Getting those shirts and t-shirts and collar shirts and stuff like that up. Um, we got some up on the website right now that we just put up this evening, but we should have the rest up, hopefully by the end of the week, man. So please go out and support, man, with that. DM us, man, when you get your shirts, man, so we can repost as well. Um, to that point, man, we got classes coming up May 21st, concealed carry, 10 o'clock and 2 p.m. Um, of course, those classes fill up quickly. As well as, man, we got the women's only class on May 22nd. So for all the ladies out there that want to get their concealed carry, they want to learn more about their firearms and things like that, in a non testosterone environment.
No penises.
No penises. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm dead.
Why was that the sound?
Right.
Oh, this one better? Yeah, there we go.
No, it's not.
Neither one of those make any sense. What is happening?
No.
But yeah, so I won't be there. No penises allowed in that class, but it's still gonna be all right though.
I'm coming to the office.
But no, so
you're not invited, Kenneth.
So yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend for that, man. We don't have no gun shows for like 6 or 7 weeks, man. So we're gonna be here local, man. And speaking of being here local, don't forget to go ahead and sign up, man. We ain't got long left in the raffle, for the Decanic SFX rival. Won't have long, man. We got a couple weeks out. Please help support us in that raffle. Supporting the Hillier House and women with women what? Anyway, I'm not paying Ken no mind because this is a serious moment here. I need y'all really to support, man, because we're partnering with the Hillier House to help these homeless mothers. And mothers, I said mothers with kids, obviously you got kids if you're a mother. Yeah, man, I'm super excited for that. Please, go ahead and the ticket's only $25, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody spent $25 on nothing today. I know it. I already know it. So come support, man. Of course, you can get your raffle tickets on online vatactical.com. You can get your merch on vatactical.com. And we got a bunch of inventory online right now too. Yeah, this is about I would say the most inventory we'd had online in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we running crazy ass deals on them. So you see something you like, go ahead and order it, man. If you don't see what you like, man, give me a call. I'm sure I can get my hands on it. But yeah, what else do we got coming up? Anybody? Can y'all think anything?
Some doll. I think you got everything.
That's it. Hampton Gun Show gonna be next month. In June. So we're taking this hiatus. So take advantage of these classes that we have coming up.
Yeah, come out to the range and shoot with us. I mean, we're gonna be doing a lot of shooting over this little break that we got. Yeah, I think that's about it. If y'all got any questions, man, y'all know the number. DM me, whatever the case may be. But anyway, let me move on, man. I hope y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Brianna. Yeah, private groups. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Give us a call. We can set some up.
Without a doubt. We like our private groups, man. We have some fun. you know, in our private groups, man. Right, you know, yeah. So just let us know, man. We can get something set up on the private tip. You know,
Oh God.
It's
How to go to bed. It's how to go to bed.
You married him.
But anyway,
Oh my God.
yeah, y'all stupid. Anyway, man, look, thank y'all for joining us tonight, man. Like we off a little early tonight, man. You know, I hope y'all like the topics of conversation. And stay tuned.
Keep sending us those videos. We love different type of videos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Coming.
You know, keeping us relevant. And we'll probably do another podcast later on this week, man. When the boys are back in town, man. When Ken's back and King Dingaling Keem is back. You know,
that is the only name that my stepmother could remember from this podcast. It's King Ding Ding, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I would see. Look, we know Valerie and them, but anyway. Anyway, man, look, I ain't got nothing else, man.
Good night, everyone.
Y'all have a good night.
It's
Hopefully we'll see you guys later this week.
Yeah, we'll put out the word, man.
Make sure y'all get on there and get that merch.
Yeah, man, you've been asking
raffle
for
tickets.
Yeah, you've been asking for it, so I need to see an order like come through like right now.
I was gonna say, you know, people sign up all night long, so go ahead and get them orders in.
Yeah, man. But anyway, all right. Oh, hold on. Before I don't want to hang up on nobody this time around. All right.
I got a micro sig.
Oh my God.
Definitely hang up now.
Good night.